Again, President William Ruto has once again broken his silence to lash out at Parliament, where the leadership of Moses Wetangula from the National Assembly and Amason Kingi on the Senate side is coming under sharp scrutiny. The two speakers stand accused of abandoning impartiality, presiding over corruption-tainted chambers and surrendering the House to the highest bidder. Far from defending the people they represent, critics say Wetangula and Kingi are fast cementing the place among the most underwhelming speakers in Kenya's history. This paper gives this conversation quite the prominence, as they have this only story on the front page.
And there's that phrase that they've started with there. Sorry, I'm getting my buttons off. Faustian bargain, and probably now I'm getting the meaning. Faustian bargain means a deal where someone sacrifices something of great moral or spiritual value in exchange for worldly benefits like power, knowledge, or wealth. So this is what this paper is accusing these two gentlemen of doing. Faustian bargain, that they've actually sacrificed something of great value, their positions as neutral arbiters of both houses of parliament, for gains, worldly gains, like worldly benefits like knowledge, power, and wealth. And this is an indictment on both houses. Remember the statement that yesterday President William Ruto said, made about the amount of bribery in parliament. Ili mambo tumezungumzia mara mingi. We've hosted members of the National Assembly and the Senate in our panels, and they always deny. I remember when MP for Juja, George Koimburi, claimed sensationally last year that MPs were actually bribed to ensure that the finance bill was passed. Yes. And they all denied. In fact, he was forced to apologize before the House. Now the president comes and says, well, I'm a consumer of raw intelligence, and I'm telling you for sure, I know what's happening. Watatuambia nini? Tuone wanasema nini. Well, that's the standard, and it will be the main story. But there's a very interesting story I've seen in the inside page. No, I think it's on the Daily Nation. It's okay, ni sawa. Hiyo ni tofauti.
Yes. Well, on the back page of this daily, Harambee Stars changed from underdogs to title contenders. One of those conversations that you're also following up on when it comes to matters sports. From the Standard, kwenye gazeti la Taifa Leo.
Asaba Raila azomewa na wabunge. Mkutano. Wabunge wakerwa na msimamo wake kuwa wapokonywa hazina ya CDF ambaye anataka isimamiwe na county. Unajua jana sielewi walikuwa na ubaya gani. On one hand, they're accusing these MPs of bribery. And the other wanawaambia hata CDF sinyi amfai kuwa nayo. Jana walikasirika. Wasi wabunge wa ODM na UDA walionekana kukerwa na Raila na Ruto katika kongamano la pamoja jijini Nairobi jana, kiasi cha hata kukataa kushiriki vikao vya kuidhinisha maafikiano ya vyama hivyo viwili. If you look at some of the dailies, inasemekana, and I'm just quoting one of the dailies, wanasema mpaka kulikuwa na wengine wanasema one term huko ndani. Ni vile tu haikuwa State House. Raila azomewa na wabunge. Kuna picha za viongozi hao wawili na wabunge wengine pale wameweka ile vidole viwili. Sijui wanasema ni tuta ama ngapi.
Kuna wengine wameweka 4, so zika ni 4 term.
Vidokezo zaidi, Matiang'i ya dandia Jubilee, PNU, waziri wa zamani ajitahidi kupanda mlima, jicho likiwa kwa urais wa mwaka 2027. Kwingineko, Gachagua kurudi nchini kwa kishindo. DCP atoa utaratibu kuhusu namna kiongozi huyo atakavyotua Kenya Alhamisi. Sasa tunajua tarehe ambayo atarudi ni Alhamisi. Jana naibu wake Cleophas Malala alikuwa anasema ni kama ati kuna njama ya kufanya hiyo ndege ambayo inakuja naye iende either Mombasa ama Kisumu. Itue Kisumu au Mombasa ndio aweze kutiwa mbaroni huko. Hatujui kama ni ukweli, ngoja tangoja.
Nasema kwingineko, tasnia Kiswahili omboleza kwa kifo cha Profesa Habwe, na hili ndio gazeti pekee ambalo nimeona wameangazia kwa kina taarifa hiyo. Sema wasomi na wapenzi wa Kiswahili nchini na katika ukanda mzima wa Afrika Mashariki wanaomboleza kifo cha msomi na mwandishi mtajika Profesa John Hamu Habwe aliyefariki usiku wa kuamkia jana akiwa na umri wa miaka 62. Wengi wetu tulisoma vitabu vyake pale shuleni kama course-book. Naam.
Pale juu aliyeua mpango wa kando wa mkewe kufungwa. Mume alimpata mwenda zake chini ya kitanda. Akaamua sasa hata anafungwa.
Baada ya kupiga simu mara kadhaa kwa bibi akapata hashiki, anaingia nyumbani.
Jamaa kaingia mvunguni mwa kitanda.
Kuna jamaa ko pale chini na hajavaa nguo zote. Shanga huyu ni nani huyu?
Akaamua Sayuni.
Naam.
Okay. Kwenye sporti, tikitaka ya Man United, ushindi wa Arsenal EPL. Red Devils waanza kwa mkosi. Arsenal wakitabasamu. Unaona hii tabasamu hapa. Mkosi upande huu. Gazeti la Taifa Leo, kuna kitu unataka kusema?
Waswahili husema kuanza kupika ugali ama kuvunjika kwa mwiko haimaanishi umemaliza.
Mwiko inavunjika hata kabla maji hayajachemka bado.
Na kutangulia sikufika. Asante sana mzalishaji.
Kutangulia sikufika. Kumbe huyo pia ni wa Man U huyo mzalishaji.
Huyo ni wa Man U huyo.
Naona jana hamukuelekea vizuri. Gazeti la Daily Nation.
UDA Raila MPs meeting fallout, and they have this particular photo of the three leaders there. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, President William Ruto, as well as Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki. They say a plenary session to review the party's 10-point pact turned stormy. The inaugural joint meeting of the ruling coalition and ODM MPs was marred by controversy after President Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga put the lawmakers on the defensive. The president, for the third time, publicly condemned bribery in parliament, vowing to have corrupt MPs, get this, arrested. How that will happen, we await to see. While Raila insisted legislators shouldn't run CDF kitty. With the poisoned environment, the forum ended prematurely. And get this, it was actually raining up on that particular day at that time. So you can imagine, even if you really want to even walk out, wacha tu nikae nisikie tu maneno yote.
And you know, the talk has always been about how these two gentlemen have control over both houses of parliament.
Yes.
But what we saw yesterday, and the very interesting thing is that most of this was beamed live. I could see so many videos on social media. Ni kama walikaa mahali wakaambiana hawa watatu, sisi wawili tunaenda kuchoma. We will inject, wewe now deputy president, ndio ujaribu kupuliza. Anyway, the most interesting story today for me, because these other ones we've talked about them, is this one on page 3, about this young Kenyan. Man's search for Chinese father ends in heartbreaking twist. It's called Brian Lian, who has both Kenyan and Chinese heritage. He learned that his father, who was deported, had passed away. This is a boy who grew up, anaitwa tu mzungu mchina, aelewe ni kwa nini, anajua mama yake mzazi tu wa kawaida. Lakini ndio ngozi yake akiangalia anaona, yenyewe hapa ukweli, mimi si kama wengine. So he decided to go and look for his father. And you can read more on that story on page 3 of the Daily Nation, what happened to him and why the twist.
Oh, yes.
On the back page of this paper, how McCarthy is turning stars into title contenders. Lakini Tanzania hawajafurahi kabisa, hawajafurahi. Wale Taifa Stars wana machungu kuliko kila ni kama hawakudhani Kenya tafika mahali.
Yeah, true. To another whole conversation that we haven't really taken a look at on the front page of the Star. Remember, it is a free copy for you. Utapata pale my Gov insert as every Tuesday. How counties' new medical equipment will be bankrolled. Remember, I think the president had launched this particular medical equipment, was it last week? And how this whole scheme will be working. They say counties will pay for the equipment through the Social Health Authority based on actual usage. Palechini still on matters health. Despite huge failures to some families, SHA is a God-sent lifeline. You rarely see some of this positive kind of news when it comes to the SHA, so you can definitely read on that. Into matter security, ex-soldier awarded 25 million Kenyan shillings for dismissal after Somali attack. And into some politics, Ruto rewinds his 2022 hustler script for the 2027 re-election campaign.
Pale juu, masuala ya sporti, Zico back stars to ride China form to AFCON World Cup qualifiers. If we ever qualify for the World Cup, I'm telling you, you'll never hear the end of this. And yes. Taifa Stars watasikia machungu. Yani we can already tell where our rivalry is. among all African nations, among even those taking part in China, I think Tanzanians are our biggest rivals. Hawataki kusikia Harambee Stars wamefika mahali. Ngoja sio sisi tunakutana na Morocco. Ni nyinyi.
And remember, the World Cup qualifiers will be played in Kenya, in Kasarani, next month in September. So that's again something whole. Hata chani kisha tu hivi, 30th of August hapo, there's still some more, football excitement.
Yes,
to look out.
Even as we anticipate for what's going to happen in 2027, the AFCON will still be hosting alongside Tanzania and Uganda. People Daily, the same script that we've been seeing on all other dailies. Inside Ruto MP's face-off over bribery. Walikasirika sana jana. This paper did not get their picture, so they decided to do a caricature on the front page. Bunge limeanguka, limevunjika. Watu wamekasirika, waliambiwa walipata. Lakini tumekuwa tukiwaambia na tukiwauliza maswali. Mbona mnakasirika?
Tutaendelea kuuliza leo asubuhi.
Maswala ya siasa pale chini. Kingpin test, Mudavadi Wetangula versus Natembeya and Malala. That's Western Kenya politics. Na pale juu, Kasmo Makoure sema, this is my political plan after the Gen Z demos. He still insists he did not betray anyone, but he's looking for an ODM ticket into politics. All the best to him.
On Business Daily Matters Business, Nairobi Securities Exchange gains 1 trillion Kenyan shillings amid shares rally, bonds decline. In case you're really interested in Matters bonds, this is something to read into. Palechini, Treasury blocks use of tax refunds to offset the Kenya Revenue Authority dues in fallout. This is also something to look out for, particularly for business owners. On the ticker, something that you'd really need to know for today, Safaricom and Airtel ordered to release Skiza Tune cash to artists. Something very interesting as well. High Court has ordered both telecommunication companies, Saf and Airtel, to release withheld revenues for call ring back tunes, Skiza Tune and Hello Tune, or to artists and copyright owners. Hata wewe unaweza amua uko unasikiza tuni yako. Watu wakipiga unasikia, this is Fred Ndimuli. Yes.
Hotter than your coffee.
Yeah.
Alafu narushiwa pesa. Narushiwa pesa.
Papa Freddy. Yeah, so that's something definitely quite interesting. Hiyo ni maneno ya biashara. Tuangalie.
Just a reminder of my panel this morning. James Gakuya, MP Embakasi North, alongside nominated MP Sabina Shege and Professor Fred Ogola, whose title, I know him as an economics and governance expert, but now he's coming as a commissioner in the People's Restorative Justice Commission. In Ilena collects evidence about the kind of violence, extrajudicial killings and abductions in preparation for an ICC suit.
Yes.
We'll be having them in studio. Tuangazie karakacha sasa as we come to the end.